You just crossed over into the female zone.
One of the hardest things for me when I'm on a date is when I share what I do for work and I can see that the man, like on his face, he's like disappointed or the light leaves his eyes. Like, I don't do anything super crazy, but I would say I'm somewhat successful. Honestly, I think I could be way more successful than I am. I just want work-life balance. But it is really defeating when you share what you do on a date and you feel like it's going well, and then you can kind of see the cogs turning of like, does she make more than me? Is she more ambitious than me? And obviously I want to date someone who's motivated. It doesn't matter what category of work they want to be motivated in, but like, right? You want to date someone who has your same level of motivation. Anyways, this is something that I did not feel, something that I did not experience when I dated when I was younger, like in college, because none of us had jobs or titles. Feels honestly silly. Wouldn't you want the person that you're with to be successful?
Feels honestly silly. Wouldn't you want the person that you're with to be successful? No, sweetie. You don't understand. That's what women want, not what men want. But you know what? That's the problem with you women. You think that men have to think like you, and it doesn't work that way. And for my viewers, just in case, this woman doesn't do OF or anything like that. She's actually a successful boss babe up to a certain point. She does make a good chunk of money, and she's having dating issues. Right back to her. Well, sweetheart, the reason you're having dating issues is because nobody wants to date a boss babe because you're bossy. You're pretty masculine. Even when you were talking here, you were talking like a dude almost. Let me explain something to you. The reason men get like that when they hear that how successful you are is because they already know. Great. She doesn't know how to be submissive. Why? Because your bossiness has become your personality. You're going to be pushy. You're going to be domineering. And worst of all, you women actually think that you can date like men. What I mean by that is once you start earning a good chunk of money, a good amount of money, you start thinking that, oh, well, I could throw my demands around, just like men do to women who don't have a successful career. Except you fail to recognize the fact that most men are not attracted to your money. The only ones who are attracted to your money are basically the male version of a sugar baby. And you obviously don't want that. You said you want a high earner. As you said, you did have these problems when you were younger, yes. When you were younger, believe it or not, your sexual market value was a lot higher than it is now. So why would a man who's highly successful, as successful as you, deal with you when he could just date a younger woman who's not going to be bossy, demanding, or any of that? He doesn't care to date someone at his level. And that's the big thing that you boss babes refuse to accept. Before we move on, I want to say thank you, fam, to all of my subscribers for supporting this channel. I truly appreciate all of you who leave comments, who like my videos, and share them on other social media platforms. I truly gotta say thanks, fam. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. And for those of you who haven't subscribed yet, I thank you for tuning in, and I hope you decide to hit that subscribe button. Moving on!
I'm gonna give you an example of why women are literally terrified of men. Here you go, listen up. Because I was in Walmart shopping after work, and I'm minding my business, but I happened to just hear this man's conversation behind me. He's on the phone, talking loud enough for literally everybody to hear him. He's not being quiet at all. Like, this is blowing my mind. He literally says, word for word, I am not making this up, if the throat isn't human, it doesn't hit the same. Sir, I beg your finest pardon. Like, this is why women are terrified of men. This is just one example, because what the f*** do you mean? If it's not human, y'all out here animals or something? Like, what the hell are you talking about? It took everything in me not to leave the store immediately because I was like, I know I did not just hear that. I will probably never understand what goes on in a man's head. I really don't want to either after that.
God, Karen, you are so stupid.
All right there, sister. So you're trying to tell this gorilla and the rest of the internet, obviously, that women are completely terrified of men, and your example is that you are a nosy person listening into this man's conversation, and you heard a line completely out of context, you have no idea what it is, and you even admitted you have no idea what it is, and you quickly assume that it was in a sexual nature, and you're thinking that it has to do with men doing things to animals, and you were terrified because of something you had no idea what it was about, and you wanted to run out of there real quick. So let me get this straight. Women are terrified of men because you all are nosy, you eavesdrop on conversations, you hear things not even halfway through, you even know what the hell that was, and you jump to conclusions in the most negative fashions? Sounds to me that the ones who should be afraid of someone else is men of you, because you could have quickly taken that, ran with it without knowing exactly what was happening, and hit that man with a false accusation. I mean, what he says, if the throat isn't human, it doesn't hit the same. Hell, he could have been talking about birds singing. Who knows? You don't know the context of the conversation. Hey, you know what, sister? If you don't want to be afraid of men, why don't you do this good piece of advice? Mind your frickin' business, butt out. I swear, this is the reason why a lot of men avoid women like you. Because they already know the queens of gossip like you will stop at nothing to always paint a man in the most negative light possible. And let me tell you something. Can this gorilla admit that it is possible that the guy was actually talking about doing something to an animal? Of course that was possible. While at the same time, there's an equal likelihood it was something else. The point is, you don't know, and this gorilla doesn't know. But guess what this gorilla isn't doing? I'm not jumping to conclusions, and I'm not accusing the guy of anything. And this is why the M2 movement fell flat on its face, because of women like you. Moving on.
To any of my women out there who are unsure about their relationship, let me tell you, as a divorced girly, to freaking wait. That marriage is not worth it if the guy is not doing everything that he absolutely can to make sure that you are happy and satisfied in that relationship. I am 2 years post-divorce, and I think maybe for the first time ever in my almost 30 years, I've met a man who actually does what he says he's gonna do. He's freaking like worship the ground that I walk on. Ladies, wait. I wish I hadn't wasted so much time on a man who, I shit you not, refused to rub my feet when I was 8 months pregnant. Wait for the one who cares.
Oh, dang, fam. Let me get this straight. So you're saying forget about the husband, the father of your children, because you already said that he wasn't worthy because he didn't rub your feet when you were 8 months pregnant. Oh, God, that's divorce grounds right there. And you're telling women out there to wait for a guy to be a super blue pill beta simp and put you on a pedestal? I mean, honey, I applaud you. You're about to smash into the wall. You already got a kid, so you already got bags from a previous marriage, and you got a guy who does everything for you? Man, you hit the jackpot with the blue pill beta simps there. And notice how you're always saying, look for the guy that does everything for you. He's got to bring everything to the table. So I have a question. What does a single mother like you bring for him, other than bringing your own kid so he can take care of your kid and pay your bills? What are you bringing to him that's going to better his life, that's going to put him like 2 to 3 levels above where he's at, or he's supposed to be at? I'm really curious. Oh, I'm going to assume that you're going to say what women in your situation usually say. I bring me, and he's got to love me and my kid because we're a package deal. And to that, this girl will say, I see the package, I failed to see the deal. Ladies, I got to say, if you were married to an abusive man, I'm talking about a real abusive man, a guy who actually puts his hands on you, and you divorce him, there's no blame here. I 100% understand. But if you come up with these generic abusive terms, or there really wasn't abuse and you just wanted to see it there, and you allow another woman to convince you to leave your husband because of feels, well, all I can say is I wish you the best of luck in finding yourself the bluest of blue pill beta simps. Because in reality, my opinion is, if you left a good guy who was actually taking care of you and you broke up his family because of your feels, your egotistical feelings alone, nothing to actually put you in danger just because you felt like leaving, and you took his child away from him because of your feels, the egotistical one here, well then, I can only hope that you actually don't find anybody. Or if you do find somebody, I hope he's not even a fraction of the value of the man you just left. Moving on!
A little over a year ago, I gave up my normal full-time job and became a full-time content creator for that kind of work. I'm about 1.5 years into it, and my family stopped talking to me. They don't want anything to do with me. My dad's extremely disappointed. My mother, same thing. They call me the disgrace of the family. Most of my friends, they left me because they didn't want to associate with the 304 and online, you know. I'm really miserable. I'm alone. Guys stopped asking me out. They don't really message me. I'm really miserable right now. Yeah, and I think I gave up any chance of ever creating a family or meeting a nice guy and stuff like that. See, that is what most people assume life is like when you do my job. I'm actually really fucking happy. My family, they love me and I love them. And to be completely honest, they don't think about my body in any kind of way. I would be really worried if they did. That would be bad. You guys are weird. Family members are not supposed to think of family members like that. So we don't talk about it. They don't look at anything, and everything is fine. They're very proud of me. I am the first one in my family to graduate. I even went to college. I fully independent. I've had my own places. Yeah. My friends, they still come around. I'm a little antisocial, but that's my fault. That's not their fault. People still hit me up to check on me every single day. Guys, I get asked out every single day of my life. And I know already that people online are gonna be like, well, they just wanna, blah, blah, blah. That's what most guys wanna do anyways, even if you're the good girl in church. Let's be for real here. I have my cats. They are my babies. They are the loves of my lives. And I'm home all the time. I cook. My place is clean. It's immaculate. This is the first time I've ever had time to learn how to cook. And I'm really good at it. My life is great. And when I do get in relationships, they're normal. I make money. I can do my own thing. I make my own hours. Life is really good.
Sweetheart, I gotta ask you, how much copium did you hit right before you made this video? Here's the funny thing, right? I'm pretty sure as some of my female viewers, maybe one or two of them, saw this video and they said, oh, well, I bet Gorilla's gonna try to turn this around because she obviously said that she's happy. Sure, she's happy. Here's the thing. You see, this Gorilla doesn't really have to say much because women are much better readers of body language than men. And if I could see her body language, how much she was struggling to say how happy she was, I know you women saw that. All right, first of all, let's get out the obvious. If you really are happy being a 3 or 4, you don't have to make a video to try to justify how happy you are. And more importantly, try to convince everybody else, I'm super happy. My life is awesome right now. No. So when there's like a successful banker or a CEO jump on TikTok and say, hey, my life is super happy because I'm successful. No, they don't do that. They just live their lives. They don't have to convince anyone else. You know who has to convince other people? People who are trying to put up a front. I'm sorry, but being a 3 or 4 is not something to be proud of. And maybe it does make you happy for a time, but that is not a formula for happiness down the road. And when you said all men just hit you up for sex. Oh, yeah, really? No. I would say men who see 3 or 4s like you will only hit you up for sex because they don't want to wife you up. But a normal girl? Guess what? She'll be hit up by the players, but she's also going to be hit up by average guys. It's up to her to decide who's the one who's offering a serious relationship. All right? You're not fooling this Gorilla, and you sure as hell aren't fooling any of my viewers. You may actually fool a blue pill beta simp and any other girl who's also a 3 or 4 who's convinced that she'll be equally happy as you are. Yeah, let's see how long that lasts.
I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you would like to support the channel, please follow the link in the description to donate to our beer fund, or like, subscribe, and share this video on other social media platforms. If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit, please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.